Welcome to the opening event of Rallycross Challenge Europe 2016. We are at the soaking wet Autodromo Maggiora in Maggiora in the north of Italy. And the weather may be the biggest challenge on this kilometre-long course all weekend. Vile conditions on Sunday morning, really heavy rain overnight, continuing into the daytime. And that means for Super Touring cars minus the first cars on track, ultra slippery conditions. Roman Castoral wearing the number 1 from the Czech Republic. Last year's champion won every event in his Opel Astra. As you can see, going onto the Joker lap, especially treacherous, even with a clean windscreen. Well, Van der Brandt once more showing the pace that took him to last year's title. And the Opel Astra driver confident in his own machine and his own abilities. Ivo van den Brandt had a roll in the heat, and that meant he would not go into heat 3. At least he was clean and dry when he was inside. A little disappointed there with contact with the bank. Honda Civic drivers Bruno Schmaz from Hungary and Joel Strax, both looking comfortable and confident in the weather. Anik de Jong, though, aquaplaning off into the barriers. Roman Castoral, fastest in 3 out of the 4 heats. Bruno Schmaz of Hungary, fastest in the other in his Honda Civic. Ivo van den Brandt having to start at the back, but hopefully should be competitive in the event when they get into the finals. Yves Taylor and Joel Strax could be outside bets for victory as well, as they start 3rd and 4th. Well, there is the Citroën Saxo of Yves Taylor from Belgium, Bruno Schmaz, and then on pole position will be Roman Castoral in the Opel Astra, 65 Claudius Smits. And away they go. And Ivo van den Brandt making a great start. The Mitsubishi Colt coming down, all the way down the inside, takes the lead from the last spot on the grid. Roman Castoral in 2nd. Yves Taylor taking the Joker lap, so too with Bruno Schmaz, and on board with Claudius Smits. In the Ford Fiesta, the 21-year-old also doing the Joker lap early on. They will have very little visibility as Ivo van den Brandt leads Roman Castoral. Joel Strax right there. Now this is considerably drier than it was in practice, as you can see. And will that change the balance of power? Certainly Ivo van den Brandt out in front of Roman Castoral. Now, those that have stopped Claudius Smits in the Fiesta, leading Joe van den Ven in the Polo, and there's Annika de Jong in the Opel Corsa. Ivo van den Brandt really throwing the Mitsubishi around. Is he taking the Joker lap? No, but Roman Castoral is, and Joel Strax is going with him. So now it's up to Van den Brandt to make as big a lead as he can. Yves Taylor in the Saxo, Bruno Schmaz. Are they through? Yes! Taylor in front of Castoral. And Schmaz is right behind him, just in front of Joel Strax. So all those 4 cars have now done their Joker lap. And it's up to Ivo van den Brandt, who takes his now. Oh, big slide, almost stationary. That's cost him vital seconds. This is the battle for what is 2nd. Where will they come out? Van den Brandt in between the 2 of them. So it is Yves Taylor in the red Citroën Saxo. And there you see from the outside, Van den Brandt came in front of Roman Castoral. Saxo leads, Mitsubishi in 2nd, Castoral in 3rd. There's the battle behind. And still Claudius Smits leading that group. Joel Strax closing in on the back here. Roman Castoral in the Opel Astra. And he is losing ground, Castoral, to Ivo van den Brandt in that Mitsubishi. Castoral with a real problem here. He's being pushed out of the corner. Yves Taylor is driving away. And Castoral, well, the washers are on, but he is being passed. Looks like the car has died. No, he's got it going again. Right, fantastic. So he's back in it. Still with Claudius Smits in the Fiesta, ahead of Joe van den Ven. And it is Yves Taylor who leads. Ivo van den Brandt is closing fast, though. Van den Brandt closing down the leader. And they have got 2 more laps to go. Van den Brandt attacking hard. Joel Taylor trying to hold on. Further back, Claudius Smits defending against Joe van den Ven in the Volkswagen Polo. And Yves Taylor, the Belgian, trying to keep his nose out front. Ivo van den Brandt is under pressure now from Joel Strax. And here comes Roman Castoral. He's bumping his way inside the Honda for third place. The Honda is off and in the back heavily. It looks like Yves Thelen has got this one, but it's all for second place. Castorel pushing Van den Brandt, and right behind Bruno Schimas in the Honda. He's closing in the Hungarian. Castorel again pushing hard. Checker flags inside. Van den Brandt sideways. Oh, Schimas hits the barriers, and it's a drag race to the line. Van den Brandt gets it. Castorel fourth. Well, when the weekend began, we had a few problems with the car, says Yves. Mostly electronics, but at one stage the car was only running on 3 cylinders. So that gave us a bit of problem during the qualifying. Fortunately, we managed to get it all sorted out, and in the final, everything went surprisingly well. A nice understatement for a man who has claimed victory in the opening round of the championship. And there is your Belgian 1-2 on the podium. Yves Thelen, Ivo van den Brandt, joined by the 17-year-old Hungarian Bruno Schimas. Roman Castorel off the podium in 4th place here in Italy. The Super Touring Car Plus class features rear-wheel drive machinery. Super Touring Cars Minus is front-wheel drive. Defending champion is Steve Folders in the 77 Ford Escort. Moving up from Minus to Plus, Jos Sterkens in the number 4 Volvo C30. Conditions very slippery indeed in the qualifying heats, and the ideal racing line really quite important. The red Volkswagen Golf, Karl Schadenhofer. Steve Folders here showing that if you get even a little offline, it can be very treacherous indeed. Schadenhofer keeping himself in the frame, as is Jos Sterkens, but Steve Folders all the way through practice showing that he is definitely the man that they will all have to challenge. Didn't all go completely cleanly for Jos Sterkens. He was fastest in Heat 3, but he also made mistakes in the final corner, just running off on the inside and into the dirt. Steve Folders took 2 heat wins and again showed that he is a master of the oldest car in the competition, his Mark 1 Ford Escort. So Philip van der Heijden didn't drive in the 3rd heat with engine problems, fastest in the 4th. Schadenhofer looked to be the most consistent throughout the qualifying. Van der Heijden lines up on the outside of the front row of the grid. No points for qualifying. This is only to set the grid. Schadenhofer in the middle, and Steve Folders, the man who will start from pole position. Jos Sterkens in 4th position. Revs rise, and away they go, except for Jos Sterkens. He is left stranded on the grid. Philip van der Heijden, though, has the lead in his Volvo S40. The white and blue Escort, Steve Folders in 2nd position. Combining with Central European Championship competitors here, they've all taken their Joker lap. So our Rallycross Challenge Europe drivers are still in front. Van der Heijden from Folders. The Golf in 3rd place, Karl Schadenhofer. The Austrian driver in the red machine right into the back of Folders, otherwise pristine Escort. Lead trio broken away. Herman van Thielen has taken his Joker lap right at the very beginning. Now how will that work for him? Golf goes down onto the Joker lap. Karl Schadenhofer. So it is van der Heijden, who clearly hasn't put a bucket and sponge to his Volvo, ahead of Steve Folders. There's Jos Sterkens. He's taken his Joker lap as well. So this is your lead battle. Sterkens coming through the Central European competitors. And van der Heijden leading from Folders. Folders now takes his Joker lap. Very, very slippery. And it looks as though the Golf may well come out on front in the balance. Just skates across the nose of the Escort. Now they've both taken their Joker laps. And Schadenhofer back out in front of Folders. So work for the Escort driver to do. Now what about Philip van der Heijden? Leaving his Joker lap a little later, trying to get the most out of the conditions. Herman van Thielen in the Volvo 242 has nosed off into the bank. And is this the Joker lap? Yes, it is for Philip van der Heijden. Now it looks as though the Golf and the Escort are both close. And it might be the Golf that takes the lead here. No, van der Heijden has done a great job. Keeps his nose in front after the Joker lap. So van der Heijden leads, Schadenhofer second. third place Folders. It is definitely drying out. There's Josh Sterkens. Sterkens struggling to stay with the pace of the front runners. Oh, and Folders! Another mistake. Runs out of grip at the back of the car. Can't get it started, and away he goes now. But the lead pair have got away, no question about it. And there is the oldest car and one of the oldest competitors in the competition. And Philip van der Heijden under pressure only from Karl Schadenhofer. Folders trying to close in as Josh Sterkens spins out the same corner Steve Folders did, but Folders has got a real run going on to the final lap. There he is, right behind the Golf. Battle for second place. He's going wheel to wheel. Found some grip and through he goes as Philip van der Heijden wins his first victory in the Rallycross Challenge Europe. And Steve Folders gets by Schadenhofer. Has he got a right front puncture? Yes, the Golf going very slowly. What a shame on the final lap. Well, here is our happy winner, Philip van der Heijden, claiming victory in Rallycross Challenge Europe for the very first time in the Volvo. Said he wasn't sure how it was going to go. We've had a few problems with the car. The throttle kept sticking. The suspension, we had a few problems with the setup. I had mixed feelings, but delighted to take a win here in the end. We could be in for a very interesting season, couldn't we? Philip van der Heijden wins from Steve Folders. Karl Schadenhofer in third. Looks like he could be a strong challenger as well. As the name suggests, Super 1600 cars have 1600cc engines as a maximum, so power is at a premium. Set up then in these tricky conditions, absolutely vital for these front-wheel drive production-based hatchbacks. And the local crowd and local driver Mirko Zanni know the conditions well. Zanni, a Renault Clio, showing that he has got the measure of this circuit. There he is, the number 81 machine. Another of the front runners in practice was the Czech Republic's Josef Sutzer. Car number 117, his Skoda Fabia. And Václav Verwerker, who returns to the championship, another Czech driver in a Peugeot 208. They struggle though to match the pace of Zanni, who has clearly seen this track in similar conditions. Zanni getting the best of his rivals. No points handed out for qualifying heats, but it does set the grid for the finals. Everybody trying to work out where the grip might be and where it is. And this is Thijs Huyssen in the Ford Fiesta having problems in qualifying. While local hero Mirko Zanni romped to 4 wins in the 4 qualifying heats. So with Václav Verwerker second fastest, trouble for Thijs Huyssen coming back in on the end of a tow rope. And he will be the last to get away on the grid. Zanni on pole then, with Thijs Huyssen at the back of the field. Václav Verwerker's Peugeot 208 in the middle of the front row. Away they go. And the Skoda Fabia getting great traction. Josef Sutzer, car number 117, hitting the front on the run down to the first corner and then getting hit by Zanni. And Sutzer goes through. 3 cars taking the Joker lap, including Thijs Huyssen and Marcel Suchy in the Peugeot 206 on board with Václav Verwerker. Busy run down into the first corner, bumping and boring all the way through. Super competitive. Momentum is everything in these Super 1600s. Josef Schuster out front in the Skoda. Everybody else holding each other up. Thijs Huyssen, Marcel Suchy behind him. They've already done their Joker lap and they are closing up on Zanni. Zanni is holding the field up as the conditions dry out. Well, that wasn't expected. Running away out front is the Czech Josef Schuster. Oh, well, hang on a minute though. Look at this. Is it a problem for Zanni? Looks like he understeered out very wide there. Change for second as Václav Verwerker takes us by the Italian's Clio. Now, is it too late to catch the leader? Well, here comes Verwerker leading the charge. Marcel Suchy has come through as well. Hans-Peter Freiberger further back. There is Suchy in the number 10, Freiberger number 7. Oh, goodness me. That was a big bump. Well, Josef Schuster romping away in the Skoda. And where is Václav Verwerker? he's still some way back. Tace Hyson battling with another Italian driver, trying to get through for third place. Gets a good run on him, down the inside into the first corner. Oh, and the Citroen weaving around in front. But Suster romping away. Suster looking absolutely in control in the Skoda. Second place, 66, Václav Veverka. And Tace Hyson. Oh, problems for Hyson. He's being pushed from behind by Hans-Peter Freiberger. Looks like the engine has cut on the Fiesta. So suddenly, real trouble behind. Marcel Succi is closed in on that group. And number 7, Hans-Peter Freiberger gets by. Tace Hyson, I think, is going to have to... Yes, he has. He's parked the car. Going to have to retire. Well, Suster charging away, trying to build up a massive lead and take the Joker lap on the final run round the track. And he's not going to have much room for error if he gets it wrong, but he's a long way clear of Václav Veverka. Italian local in third place. Fourth is Dominic Succi, so third in Rallycross Challenge Europe points. And there goes Veverka in second place. The Skoda now on the last lap, heading down through the Joker lap. Is that going to work for him? Has he got enough of a lead? He should have, surely. Josef Suster and Václav Veverka has to follow him through. Forgotten that Veverka hadn't taken his Joker lap early on, so that advantage remains. It is Czech drivers first and second, and with Marcel Succi in a third point scoring position. Czech drivers 1, 2, 3 here. Checkered flag waves. Josef Suster wins comfortably in the Skoda Fabia. Václav Veverka in second place. And there, sideways, Marcel Succi will take points in third spot. So the podium full of Czech drivers. Josef Suster, the youngest, claiming victory ahead of Václav Veverka and Marcel Succi. They are the top 3 in the points. The Supercars are the elite of Rallycross. They'll go from 0 to 60 faster than a Formula 1 car. But probably not today. In these conditions, even four-wheel drive won't rein in their 600 plus brake horsepower. Super experienced drivers like Jos Janssen are going to struggle. And in the Audi S3, Mandy August, the German, the first woman to compete in Rallycross Challenge Europe in the supercar category. As you can see, treacherous conditions, the all-inkle Motorsport Audi getting very sideways as they try and navigate their way around these filthy conditions. But even Janssen not immune to a few mistakes. Italy's Christian Giorolo was one of the fastest men on track, but engine problems hampered his qualifying runs. And even worse for the Hungarian Shushu, a broken fuel line means he won't make it through to the final. Jos Janssen also going to miss the final in the number 54 Ford Focus. And that means Mandy August will be our third of the qualifiers, behind fastest man Alois Höller and Max Pucher, the two Austrians. So Höller and Pucher in the Fords, Mandy August third in the Audi, and then Estonia's Mart Tikabar's Ford Fiesta will line up fourth. Mark Flaherty in another Ford Focus joins the field. No Jos Janssen. Mandy August on the outside of the front row of the grid. There is 14, Alois Höller in the Ford Focus, and Max Pucher in his Ford Fiesta. Away they go, ripping at the dry tarmac. Great run from the outside into the first corner from 31, Max Pucher, straight onto the Joker lap. Mark Tikabar, the red Fiesta, and Mark Flaherty also following through in the Ford Focus. And you'll be able to see exactly who has taken their Joker laps with the graphics on screen. See the Audi in the middle of the mix. There are the cars that have gone through. So it's Alois Höller in the Ford Focus leading the Rallycross Challenge Europe pack. Mistake by the blue Subaru, one of the Italian Championship competitors. Max Pucher goes through, but here are the top two in Rallycross Challenge Europe points. Mandy August in the all-inkle Audi in second place. The yellow Ford Focus, Alois Höller, he is out front by a few inches, the Austrian. Now look at this, coming through, there is the Estonian. Mark Tickerbar squeezes his way through. I think in the background, Mark Flaherty in the Ford Focus had trouble. Oh, he's in more trouble as well. He gets turned around by another Italian. Alois Holler, Mandy August being caught by 31. Max Puka, don't forget, Puka took his Joker lap on the first lap. Oh, and there's trouble again for Mark Flaherty. The leaders have gone by him. Broken right rear suspension. Surely that's unraceable. On board with Mandy August in second place. Now, she's got the lead. Alois Holler has taken the Joker lap. She has still got to do hers. So Holler's gone through on his own. But that means Max Puka has got in front of him. Puka is up to second place, the Austrian. There he's in the second red, white and black car. But it is Mandy August leading in the Audi. But surely her lead is not enough unless these two get at it. Mandy August now, she is going to take her Joker lap. The heat leader from Italy is in front. He's leading the Supercars final, but for points, Mandy August comes through in third, in second. She's got in front of Alois Holler just in the Audi, but Max Puka, who went onto that Joker lap straight off the grid, and that has paid dividends. He's in the lead on the final lap. Mandy August right behind, Holler in third, but they are not going to get by him. It is victory for Max Puka in the Ford Fiesta. Mandy August in second. I've done a few years of Rallycross, she said. I was in Super 1600 last year, and now up to Supercars. And Rallycross Challenge Europe is a lot of fun. So Mandy second in points, but the leader is Max Puka, our winner. As the drivers leave Italy after round one, the standings have a different look. Ev Talon leading in Super Touring Cars Minus. Steve Folders with a lot of work to do in Super Touring Cars Plus as Philip van der Heyden has the points lead. In the Super 1600, the Czechs are going to take some catching. Josef Suster in front. And in the Supercars, Max Puka, Mandy August and Alois Holler are the top three leaving Italy. We have first-time winners in 3 of our categories. Only Supercars victor Max Puka had previously won in Rallycross Challenge Europe. So has the established firmament shifted? Well, we may find out next time out. One thing's for certain, they'll all be hoping for a little less rain and mud in Hungary in the middle of June next time out.